In this video, I'm going to talk about the second part of the assessment. That's your chapter tests. And I have a practice test which is optional. The grade that you make here will not be recorded and it will not be part of your final grade. So I would suggest that you use the practice test to get prepared for the problems part. So this practice test is about the problems, not for true, false, or multiple choice questions. So now click the practice test icon link. Okay, that will take you out of Blackboard because these tests are not in Blackboard. They are prepared in an external website. Okay, so then you click launch course. That will launch you into a separate browser window. So now you're outside Blackboard. Okay, it tells you how many questions there are, how many marks available. But again, remember this is a practice test, so this is not going to count for anything except that you get prepared for the test itself. It'll tell you what questions there are, and then the question 1 and question 2. So you go ahead and work the problem out and enter the answers and make sure that you round your answers to the required decimal places. And then you enter and you can check your answers. So if you click reveal answers, it'll tell you what the answers are for the practice test. Okay, so of course, obviously, it's not going to do this for the regular test. So this will tell you where your mistakes are, and you can go back and review and make sure that you understand everything well. So and then you end the exam, and you are out of there. Okay, so that's our practice test. And then your actual test. Okay, so let's say we click the actual test. Okay, again it takes you out of Blackboard. So that is a problem in a particular way. I'll talk about that in just a second. So launch. Now you're again outside. You're on a separate window here. Okay, it tells you how many problems, how many questions are there, how many marks are available. And now you go ahead and you select the answer and then you have to submit. It will tell you whether you have any questions that's unsubmitted. So then you can go back and make sure that you submit. Okay, you need to submit the answer and tell you what answer that you've selected. So now you can, I'm skipping to 5 and then again, okay, say false. I'm just randomly selecting some questions, some answers here. All right. So once you're done, you can go back and forth, and if you want to go and if you want to change your answer, that's fine too. Okay. Now once you're done, all right, you end the exam. Okay. Once you end the exam, you cannot go back and change anything. So once you end the exam, it'll tell you what questions you got right. Okay, so like I got this one right, that one right, and the rest of them are either I didn't answer or I marked the wrong answer. So it tells you your score, and here is the important point. Okay, so make sure that you understand this very clearly. Because the exam is outside the Blackboard system, okay, once you finish the exam, this grade has to be posted back through a handshake between this system and the Blackboard. And sometimes it works fine. Most of the time it works fine. But every test, there are at least 1 or 2 students who have problems with this, not because of their fault, but because of the browser. I mean, there are so many moving pieces here, but sometimes it is a problem. The handshake doesn't work and the grade doesn't get posted, and then you get a blue mark there, okay? Blue dot. And when that happens, then there is no way that I can help you post the grade, except this is the key. You must print the summary. Okay, that's the summary. All right, so print the summary and don't print it to a printer. Okay, don't make a paper copy. If you make a paper copy, it becomes problematic. So you really need to print it to a PDF file. So select a PDF writer and make sure that you print it to a PDF. All right, so now that's going to save it. So I'll give a name here. So I don't know, chapter 4, multiple choice, right? Click OK. Okay, now I have the PDF file. So now scroll down. It gives you the summary, and then it gives you, the name of the person, and of course the grade is here, and for each question what the answer I marked and whether it was right or wrong. So if it is wrong, you'll have an X mark. If it is right, you'll have a tick mark. Okay, now if you have this file saved, then you can send this file, email the file to me, then I can manually record the grade in case of any problem with the handshake, right? So if you don't save this file, then there is absolutely nothing I can do because there is no record of what grade that you made. Okay, so I cannot overemphasize this. You have to, once you're done with the exam, okay, you have to do a print. If you exit the exam without printing, there is no way you can go back and print it again. So before you exit the exam, you must print the results, save it as a PDF file. Just, you don't have to send it to me by default. So then save it, keep it in your hard drive, and then go back to Blackboard and see whether your grade got posted. So you may have to wait for a couple of minutes, and then if you see a blue dot, so that means the grade did not post. It is at that time you have to send me the PDF file, and then I can record it. So I won't accept any other file. You can't give me a photograph of with your phone or anything. I need to have the PDF file for me to manually update your grade. So this is something that you have to understand very clearly, and we can avoid a lot of problems, a lot of heartache if you follow these instructions. Okay? I'm here to help, but you have to help me help you. So make sure that you make a print of the results by default. Just make sure that you have it in case there is any problem. There are a couple of more things that you can watch out for to avoid the blue dot, the problem of the grade getting posted back to Blackboard. And one is the browser that you use, and I've not tested it out myself, but from the feedback that I've had from the students, Internet Explorer doesn't work. Either Chrome or Firefox and Safari. These browsers work well is what I understand. And one of the most important reasons I think for a problem to arise is your Blackboard getting timed out and it logs you out. Once Blackboard logs you out, there is no way for the test software to be able to connect back to Blackboard. So what I would suggest is that before you start the exam, make sure that you go to the browser, the Blackboard, make sure that you log out and log back in, so you start a fresh session. So you will have at least 2 hours. I believe 2 hours is the time limit, and then you will not get logged out from Blackboard. So that's those are the two things that I would suggest. Browser, what kind of browser that you're using, and then second thing is to make sure that you have a new session started in Blackboard, so you will not get timed out and the timeout logging you out. And that's it. Then if you have another test, then you can go ahead and take it. Now, if you log in directly to the Blackboard, then you have a 3-hour window before you get signed off. Or if you use the common portal login, you get only 2-hour window. So make sure that if you're not, if you need more than 2 hours, I don't think any of the tests would require, because if a test was relatively long, I've broken it up into smaller pieces. So I don't think any test should take more than 2 hours. But make sure that just in case of any, I cannot, as I said, I cannot overemphasize this. Print the PDF file of the summary in case of any problem. Without the PDF file, I cannot help you.